Dynamite Delight. Oh, just in case that person who asked before, why do I do that? Well, I'll explain quickly and to the point. I do Gump Report. That's just a channel, well, not channel, but a show that basically I say whatever I think and whatever I might report on. But I did it there. And it's kind of like what they used to do when I was a little kid, that they would whisper into someone's ear like, yo, you know what happened last week? Something like that. That's kind of like that. And it also kind of sounds like AMSR. AMSR. You know what it is. AMSR. There you go. And it's kind of cool. It's like, and I like it, so there you go. Now, let's make this clear. You've seen the title. You're going to probably say, dude, really? Yeah, I got to. I got to say it. Really, I do. Because simply, it happened. And honestly, it does sound clickbaity. I'm not trying to make it clickbaity, but that's what kind of happened here. Now, do I believe they're going to have a huge bump in ratings? I don't know. I'm going to make it clear. There's a very good chance they will not get a very big bump more than what they get. Maybe an extra 20, 50, or 75,000. I don't know if they're going to reach past 1.1, 1.2, 900,000, 1 million, 1.1 million. I don't know. But people are going to be interested in what just happened with you know who, and I'm going to talk about that now. Let's go to the opening. Double Jeopardy match. Claudio Castagnoli versus Rey Fenix. Whoever wins goes after the other's title, gets a direct title shot. So Rey, if he lost, Claudio can get a partner and go after the titles from ROH. Same thing for Claudio. You got Rey, who can go after Claudio's title. We got a good match. And this is why I said Commander is not as good as Rey. You saw most of that match. If you saw most of that match, you saw how Rey did his setup, Rey Fenix, how he has to run the ropes and how he does his setup compared to Commander. Commander, I still believe, is very young in the business, and he isn't as seasoned as Rey Fenix. So Commander takes a moment, then runs, and then Rey takes less than a moment and runs. There's a difference. Rey is so used to it now that he doesn't even need to really spot it or measure it, and Commander is spotting and measuring it. He's trying to be very careful. There's the difference. In the end, we got Rey losing, and now Claudio can go after the tag titles from ROH. Either can do it with Mox, Wheeler, maybe Bryan, maybe someone else. We don't know. But it's there. Next, the international title match between Orange Cassidy and Garcia, who I've always said, if he isn't doing the dance, he is a damn good wrestler. From near my neck of the woods of New York. Of course, he's from Buffalo and I'm from the city, but still. Let me give it to you like this. That was the second best match of the night. The first match was the best technical wrestling, but the second best match of the night overall for me personally. In the end, I kind of wanted Orange to drop the title. I'm not saying he had to. That's just my personal preference. He is still well over with everybody. His work is good. And there isn't that much of a problem with him when it comes to making sure he does matches every week. That's the workhorse title right now. It's not the TNT title that's the workhorse. It's not the AEW title that's the workhorse. It is the International Championship. That is the workhorse title. That is the IC title. That one is it. That's what we got. And I will say, I liked it. It was fine. But the question is, who is he going after next? Or who is going after him next? That's a very big question. I don't know who. Now, we got a Miro sighting, and we got a Thunder Rosa sighting. I am glad to see Miro. You know what? If you've not seen, I don't know if I'll link it below, but there's a chiropractor that Miro went to, as well as CJ, his wife. And they showed the cracking the crap out of each other. It is funny as hell seeing Miro crying like a little bitch. And to be honest, I'm not much different. I still have to go to chiropractor when I can. And seeing him, it's like, damn. He cracks a lot of wrestlers' backs. He did at one point, and I think he still does. But I don't know if I'll leave a link to the channel because it's pretty cool. But you guys tell me below, have you ever seen Miro get chiropractor work on YouTube? We don't know what's going on with Thunder Rosa. It's a big question. Can she wrestle now? Hopefully Miro's ready. He's there. Hopefully Thunder Rosa's ready. She's there. We will find out. And I got to make it now. The Tony Khan announcement of next week, not this week. Why did he do it this week? I don't know if everyone else is going to be fond about it. I can understand why he did it. He's trying to drum up really great interest in the new announcement, which I believe is probably about Collision. But honestly, I wish he had not done this, because if it's not about Collision and it's not about bringing in someone really big like a John Cena or somebody, not saying it's John, but unless it's a really big person coming in or it's about Collision, he's just going to put himself into a corner again like he did with Christian Cage. That was dumb. Now, let's go to Christian Cage. Christian, and with the silent and doing absolutely nothing, Luchasaurus. Why? I really want Luchasaurus to be spotlighted, but we have to do Christian. And he was so hated. Guys, they were in Detroit. What were they in? I forgot what they were in. What was it? I can't remember what venue they were in. But pretty much, Little Caesars. I believe the Little Caesars Arena in Detroit, Michigan. But they hated his ass. Not only did they start chanting, "You fucking suck," they said Edge was better. And the more they chanted, the more he tried to get his promo done. Now, let's be honest. Edge is better. But Christian, the actual person, he don't care. He's happy that people care about his friend. But I'm not going to say that he doesn't have a little bit of like, really? You're trying to piss me off with Christian? Not Christian. You're trying to piss me off with Edge. The thing that's making me botch here was not the segment wasn't bad. He's basically saying that Willow's no different than Jungle Boy. The thing that's kind of pissed me off is Luchasaurus. Because as his but his right hand man, let's just say that, it's pissing me off that they got a very good wrestler and a guy that can talk. I've heard Luchasaurus talk. He can talk. He can wrestle. And they're doing nothing with him. And that is what pissed me off to the point where I'm beginning to botch what I wanted to say about Christian. Because they stuck him with Christian. Shouldn't it be about Luchasaurus? No. It's about Christian, who mindfully is still over as a heel. The Michigan crowd hated him. So that shows he still got heel heat. No matter if you like him or not. No matter you think he's boring or not. If the fans at the venue are basically booing him out of the arena because they can't stand him, great. That shows he's valuable to AEW. And he will be going after the TNT title. Which was just source, but you get my point. Okay, let's move on to the no holds bar match. Julia Hart versus Anna Jay. Now, it wasn't a very long match, and I don't know why they did it here. Why did they do this here? And they could have left it for the next week's show. I really do believe they should have left for the next week's show. Because it deserved more time. It's very rare you get women to do a no holds barred match or a lights out match. Got it here. And I'm not saying that it was great. Look, at one point, I'm not saying Julia actually got hurt because of how the allergies, the pollen in my area is like this big. Look where my hand is. Look, they're this wide and this thick, guys. And you wonder why I have sore throat. I live near 3 churches in New York. 3. It sucks. There's trees everywhere. But anyway, I'm not saying that... I'm not saying that the match was great. But I'm not saying the match was bad. I just kind of wish it had more time. Now, I do believe that Julia might have actually gotten hurt. That's the reason why they kind of ended it abruptly. Or due to the fact of so much being on the show, they had to end it abruptly. I'm hoping Julia isn't hurt, but honestly, it should have been on another day. Honestly, it should have been. That's the way I feel about it. If you're going to do a no holds barred match with these women, you need to give them time. You can't give a no holds barred match, then an open a house open match, and then a steel cage match on top of it. There's no time. None. Julia won, but she might be hurt. I don't know. The trios title match, which followed it, which made it look way less than it was. And that was the open house match. Best friends and what was that? Best friends had an option to add a stipulation to the open house match. We already got a 20 count on the outside, no ring breaks, and no DQ. But they had a chance to add another layer to it, but they were saying that they don't want witches or Julia Hart there. I can understand they don't want Julia Hart. They could have said that, but no witches on top. It was dumb. It was an alright match, and this is where AEW in their production, guys, if you see the reason why I gripe on Impact so much, look at this match. It is not about that they got a bigger budget. Look how they filmed it. What did they do? The lights were dim. That their Titantron was basically making like flares or like rain, but in light rain or whatever it was. And you could see everything in the ring. Outside the ring was very difficult because it was very dark. All of the fans were darkened. But the point is, they filmed it with a wide camera angle. Like this. You can see everything there. You know you can see everything. You know this is fake. Come on. But the point is, they did a wide angle on a very specific match, which really helped the match. It helped it because you got to see everything in the arena, what was possible to be seen. And that's all it's needed. You do not need to have a $1 million budget for your production. You just got to have people with common sense to do it correctly. And I'm worried for this calm. About to say Saturday because I just realized that Double or Nothing is on Sunday. We're going to be getting the Night of Champions 27th. Then we're getting Double or Nothing on Sunday, but also Battleground is going to be Sunday as well. So I'll have to do that Monday. Just in case, I'll remind people next week that when it comes to Battleground, I'll probably have to do it on Monday, not Sunday. But anyway, the match was fine and House of Black won. But the filming of it, the production was done correctly. Just make sure there's enough angle to see everything. Don't worry about the lighting. Just do it correctly. It's not that hard. Next, we got... let's see, what else do we have here? Did I forget anything? Trying to remember everything. I'm hoping not to forget anything. 1, 2, 3, 4. That's it. Now, before we get started, I gotta say this about the setup for the... how can I say this? Was the setup for the Double J crew, because of Jeff Jarrett, and FTR done correctly? It wasn't bad. Now, you did see when Mark Briscoe came out, and due to the fact FTR was trying to call out Mark originally to try and apologize for what was going on, everybody got in the ring, and Mark came out saying, look, I don't like seeing fighting, but I went to Tony and I got a match at Double Nothing for you guys to do your business. Came out with some liquor in some bottles. No, not bottles, but cups. Styrofoam cups. The one person that didn't drink, which I'm glad. Now, if you think, oh, he ruined it, that's Double J. No. Double J is sober. And that looked like possible actual liquor. So, he doesn't do that, which is fine. There's no problem with that. Does it go against the way Jeff Jarrett has been acting as a character? Yes. But as a guy who's recovering from alcoholism, he needed it. I'm glad that he's being careful. Even in storyline, he still goes, no. Even if it was fake, he is that type of person that wants to make sure that I got sobriety. I just don't want to take a chance of even a fake thing could entice me. So if you don't like it and you thought he did a stupid job, just chill. Just chill. The guy had bad drinking problems. Real bad. So this is why he's doing it, whether you like it or not. And I don't even know if just Alex or JD is going to even bring this up, but this is just me. But we got that. And yes, Dax got spit in the face by Sanjay Dutt. They nailed Mark by accident. I think it was Dax who nailed Mark by accident. It's a good setup to show that when Mark, who is going to be the special guest referee, he's going to have to go like, my boy just nailed my ass. Now I'm mad. And my boy over there spit on my boy that nailed my ass. I don't like either one of them. I am not going to decide on either side, even though each one is going to try and say, look, Dax and Cash are going to apologize. And then you're going to see Double J and Lethal try their best to kiss his ass. That's what you get. What else do we have here? If I'm forgetting anything, I'm sorry. I'm sure I'm forgetting something. Let me make this clear. The final match. Oh, the Four Pillars did talk. Wait, let me just say this briefly. Darby sounded the best. Jungle Boy has come a long way in doing promos. A long way. He's the MVP of improvement. Because Darby could always talk pretty well. MJF could talk pretty well. Sammy could talk pretty well. But when it came to Jungle Boy, he could not talk well. He hated talking. So he's improved himself. Thank you. I'm glad he was willing to put the effort in to practice and to get past his inhibitions and not being comfortable about it. But everybody else talked fine. MJF talked. Sammy talked. Alan talked. They all talked fine. But the one that has improved the most is Jungle Boy. Was his promo great? It was average. But it's not the point. The point is at least he could do it. So I have to give it to him. Finally, Steel Cage match. The best match of the night. And what destroyed the WWE's Raw of Monday. I just lit my face. Guys, this was a damn good Steel Cage match. That should have been on Double or Nothing. I think it would have been even more impactful than it is here. But I understand why they did it. They wanted to pop a rating, and they did. I'm sure they're going to pop a rating. Not saying it's going to be over, like, what, Raw's ratings. It won't even be close. Whatever they got is whatever they got. They may get 1, 1.1, maybe 1.2, maybe. I don't know. 1.1. But when you see how the match went, it was well done. You got the barbed wire chair. You got the, looks like glass, which could have been glass. I think it might have been candy glass. I don't think it was actual glass. I think what Mox brought into the ring that was under the ring was candy glass. I think that's what that was, because they can make it. If you've never seen candy glass, look at the glass they break on movies and TV shows. It's candy glass, not real. Not real glass. But the point is, they did do that, and the history of this is good. Since 2019, they've had 4 matches. Just 4 between each other. Not counting if there was anything added in between, like if they were in a tag team, or 4 or 5 or 8 or 10-way tag. This is the first time they'd face each other since what? Ooh, 2021 maybe? Maybe 2020, I think early 2020, no. 2021 or 2020, I can't remember when the last time they faced one another. But since now, these guys got great chemistry when they want to do something really hardcore. In the end, we got a very interesting situation that at one point, they broke the ring. They literally, not broke the ring, what am I saying? Well, pretty much the steel cage was part of the ring. So when you saw the V-trigger being done to Mox next to the steel cage, after Mox took down the top turn rope, splat, ripped right through the chain link fence, not steel, the chain link fence. Mox fell flat on his back. Kenny got his right leg caught. Since it kind of looked like they weren't really set up properly. I think Kenny was supposed to go, maybe not go out, but that's the way it went, and it looked good. But what caused all the commotion was Don Callis, because after it was done and Kenny was complaining about his right leg, Don was there, and Mox grabbed brought them together, a screwdriver. Grabbed it, no problem. I didn't expect anything big from Don after he grabbed the screwdriver when he got into the ring and went into the steel cage. But what got me, and I'm going like, really? They went there. Now they're showing that Kenny finally pissed off Don to the point that and this is what it comes down to. Don was all by himself. Kenny was not there. The Young Bucks were not there. He was all by himself, and he got whacked in the head, and it split his forehead open, almost basically cracked his skull. Almost. We basically finally get Don saying, you know what? Fuck you. I'm going to stab you in the head after you do your one-winged angel, which he did. He stabbed him right here, next to Kenny already bleeding from here. Was it his right eye or left? I think it was left eye. But stabbed him in the head, and pretty much, this is what you get. This is what you get from AEW. A betrayal of someone that you would never think would ever betray a Kenny Omega, Don Callis. And just like Mox said, but not the way Mox thought, was you're going to lose and get something broken, and you're going to have a broken heart. Now the question is going to be, what is Don going to be doing? Is he going to work with, Kateska? Is he taken away? Are we going to see him work with the Blackpool Combat Club? Is he going off in another direction? Is he going to manage someone else? I don't know. I don't know who would he manage. He's got to be managing somebody else, either Kateska or work with a Blackpool Combat Club. I don't know. Only thing I do know is that this was totally different from let's be honest. NXT did a way better job than Raw. It's the same brand, same company, but that brand did better. HBK did much better. I'm not saying he did a great job. He did a good job. But it made Raw look like crap. Now you got AEW who did this way better. And it's just going to make Raw even look worse, because it was boring, and the promise of a real tournament going into Night of Champions in Jeddah was a freaking lie. Unless they're going to do more matches next week, which they said they're not, because they already got Seth Rollins this week. On SmackDown, they're going to have 2 more triple threats, and then a main event to see who is going to be the second one facing a Seth Rollins going into Jeddah, instead of building it up, having 2 matches this week, 2 matches that week. Final 2 matches, which would be easy. The only thing I do was just film it ahead of time. They would have had it already done. No, they just wanted to get it done quickly, which was stupid. They could have gotten everything done next week and then just released it for the final week going into Jeddah. But no, they didn't want to do that. They just wanted to end it now. That's just lazy. It's garbage, but it's just me. Peace.